Hi, and welcome to Screens in Focus podcast, where we share and connect as we spotlight our favorite shows and movies. I'm Brooke.
I'm Diana.
And this is episode 72. Today we are going to be talking about The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 8, The World Before. And that is the mid-season finale, guys.
Wow.
We'll also be discussing the movies American Son and Frozen 2.
Woo!
Yeah. Before we dive in, how are you, Diana?
I am doing really good, Brooke.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What's new?
Well, we just had Thanksgiving. It was so much fun spending time with the family.
Yes, I agree.
So I just love it. But I know that we are probably really both exhausted from cooking.
Oh, yeah.
So
days and days slaving in the kitchen.
Yeah, I know.
It was worth it.
I know,
fun.
it is. And we create memories for our families.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we did something new. We painted rocks.
I saw
this time around. They were a little bit reluctant at first, but then they were like totally into it. So it was
really
fun.
Cool. That's really cool. I love that rock painting idea.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch football too?
No.
There were so many football games on. I'm like, oh my gosh, are you guys still tired? Or,
Yeah.
I mean, are you tired of watching football?
Yeah.
And no, they were just all into it as if it was their number one team.
Yeah.
But
well,
that's how it is, right?
Yeah.
I'm just glad that everybody was happy and enjoying themselves.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Food was so good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What's your favorite?
my favorite food?
Yeah, of the Thanksgiving. Like, what do you just dig in and eat that's so yummy?
Oh my gosh. Well, this year was it was a hard one because I cooked majority of the food and I was just so excited to finally sit down and eat all of it that every bite, I might have been really noisy eating because I was like, oh my gosh, every bite, so good.
Ooh, you should have brought me a plate.
Oh my gosh, I was just so happy to be eating all that food. So
I know, right?
I made a new recipe, a stuffing recipe. One of my clients had given me, so I made the cornbread stuffing.
Yeah.
So I really liked that. That was delicious. And then my gravy came out so good. Yeah.
Aww.
So I was happy. I was super happy. What about you? What was your favorite?
Oh gosh, see, that is hard. Probably anything with gravy on it, right? I don't know. I love it all. I love turkey, mashed potato, stuffing, and gravy. Like just that whole combination. Like if there's anything else I could probably do without for me. But those are my favorite. But I will tell you, the rest of my family, they really like my sweet potatoes. So
We had it
they
all.
just love it.
I don't know. I don't think we could have done without everything because everybody expects to have something.
I know.
And I made sure that we had all of that. Everything that everybody
wanted.
That taste that they all love about Thanksgiving, we had it all. So I don't think that we could have included anything more.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I had a full spread like a caterer. The table setup was like amazing.
Okay, we have a lot of background noise here. We have some wind.
It's stormy, it's rainy, and then you know when it rains in California, drivers get crazy.
Yeah.
So it's a little freaky. But talking about this freaky world and apocalypse and all, question.
Yeah.
This Walking Dead season has been so amazing and chilling and just the mystery. And we've lost some characters.
I know. Mm-hmm.
Who would you think the next character that would leave the show? Like unexpected, because I never really expect it anymore. I mean, I just think that everybody's safe now, right? So I don't know if you thought about who would be the next person that could potentially be leaving.
Yeah. We know Michonne is going to leave. So she's out of the picture on this, what we're discussing right now. But Sadiq, that threw me for a loop. I was like, what? And when Jesus that was killed off too, that was shocking. But Sadiq to me was even more shocking.
Yeah.
But I always get worried because I kind of see the trend sometimes when it concentrates on a character or relationship or somebody finally gets something a little bit, then they take them away.
I know.
Like Herschel, you know? So, and then Beth. And so it's like, oh my gosh, who are they going to take away next? So I was worried for Rosita. I was thinking that she might go. Mm-hmm. But then it was Sadiq. So now I'm thinking she might be safe. And I don't know. It's so hard to know. But And then with Ezekiel having that thing on his throat, I'm thinking, what? But I guess, and then I was a little worried in this episode with Carol and Daryl, because they were having that really good moment. And I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't let anything happen to one of them. But I will say I'm going to go with Rosita.
Okay.
I hope not, but that's the person that was giving me a little bit of, the season, like, oh my God, hopefully she doesn't die.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to be somebody like a new member, like maybe Luke, or I hope not Connie, but maybe it could be somebody from that group. Magna, maybe.
Those are good guesses.
Yeah. I just wouldn't be able to tolerate anybody from the
original group.
Oh, heck no. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So I was bummed. Really bummed. But okay. Yeah. Friends out there listening.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Mm-hmm. Who do you think will be the next character to leave the show? You can leave us a comment on Twitter at @in_screens or on our Screens in Focus Facebook page. You can follow us on our Instagram, subscribe to our website and YouTube channel. So, Brooke.
Yes.
What were your overall thoughts on this episode?
Oh my gosh. Well, watching episode 7, that cliffhanger. I just was so eager to see what would happen to Dante and if there would be any repercussions for his crime by killing Sadiq.
Yeah.
I was like, how is he going to get out of this?
Yeah.
How is he going to pull this off? He is so evil, and I can't believe that he was such a good fake. This and last season, we saw babies in jeopardy.
Yeah.
And I was so scared for baby Coco. This episode was so amazing for the mid-season finale. Mm-hmm. There was so many details. And I can't wait to see what happens to Father Gabriel. Oh, it's like, oh my gosh, did he just do what I think he did?
I know.
Wow. Well, he really needed that. But what did you think about this episode?
Well, besides giving us the backstory on Dante, this episode jumped right into where the last one left off with Sadiq's death. And it was off and running, and it didn't let up the whole way through. I was surprised when I saw the credits roll. I was like, wait, what? It's over? Time flew for me on this one, and I cannot wait to see our group get out of this mess that they are in the back half of season 10.
Oh, I know. I was really surprised. Yeah. This was an amazing episode.
Yeah.
So, I was so surprised at Alpha and Dante and how they conspired him going in as a spy. I'm really surprised that they pulled that off in our group. And I say our group, Alexandrians, Hilltop, Oceanside, okay?
Yeah.
They were smart, strategic, and even those letters that he was leaving for Alpha, just giving her intel.
Know.
Still staying within communication. I was so surprised at that. I'm also glad that they tied that camp scene that Yumiko discovered with, that we see where that came from. It was Dante. Dante had the skin on his body.
Oh, yeah.
Dumped it.
Oh, I didn't catch that. You're right.
Yeah, because Alpha had told him, she's like, I want you to go in with another group.
Uh-huh.
And then previously we had seen Yumiko and they found that giant skin.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't remember Whispers wearing that.
I'm all excited. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had this all planned out. And that just really surprises me. I'll continue to say that throughout this podcast episode because, I don't know, they're just so feral, right? Out there living. And I just can't believe that they still have that, intentions, right? To do anything. I just think that they're just so living off the land that they're so far off the grid, but they still remember how to, play games and do random things and get into character. So it just trips me out. And I think that they did an amazing job going over all these details. Alpha, she has a quick mind and she is so smart. And I'm really surprised that Dante was able to fake it so well with our group and even faking to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Of all things, right? Because he needed to be part of it. He needed to be liked and wanted and treated above so that he has more
value.
Yeah. You know, and I just think that people in the Whisperers group would be set in those ways, but apparently, you know, they're able to still remember their civilization and where they came from before. So what did you think about Alpha and Dante?
I thought it was really, you know, great way to see Dante's backstory. I really liked how this was written and directed with Alpha narrating and Dante going through the motions of putting the plan into place to infiltrate and cause problems in Alexandria.
Yeah.
It was just so well done.
Yeah.
And like you said, it filled in so many things, like the notes that he would give her.
Yeah.
And then the camp and all of that. It just, and then how she tells him she's picking him because Lydia doesn't know who he is.
Okay, that's what I was gonna bring up. So, okay.
But it lets us know, because sometimes we're like, wait, how does it not, Lydia doesn't know who he is if he's part of the Whisper. So it answered so many questions. And I love that when they can know what we're thinking as an audience and give it to us.
But the thing that confused me with the Lydia and Dante knowing that Lydia's alive, he didn't find that a betrayal, but Gamma found that a betrayal.
Yeah.
So supposedly the Whispers all knew that, for all they knew, Lydia was killed by her mother, Alpha.
Yeah.
But Gamma was so disturbed, distraught, and hurt by finding out that Lydia was not killed.
Right.
How was it that Dante was just so, like, passive, knowing that Lydia was alive?
Yeah, you're right. But I think probably because Gamma gave her sister up and really believed in her. You know what I mean? And the baby, and just everything that they sacrificed, where we didn't really see what Dante sacrificed, you know?
He was just a sicko.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. I can understand that.
That's I think my take. I don't know.
It's probably true because we'll talk about Gamma in a little bit.
Yeah.
And that makes total sense.
Yeah.
What do you think about? Oh my gosh, Rosita and Dante!
I
just can't wait to talk about that.
I know.
I thought of you the whole time when she's like, bam, bam, bam. I'm like, oh, I bet you Diana was like so happy to be Rosita for Halloween.
I know.
She's like, yeah.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, yes. This scene with the baby was so intense.
Yes.
I mean, Rosita comes looking for Sadiq, but Dante tells her he went out to help a sick kid. And I found it interesting that he throws in some Spanish to try and relate to her.
Exactly.
And I think he felt it would put her at ease, but he is a quirky guy and he seems socially inept. And she knows something is up. And so Dante pulls a knife on her and she has to put the baby down into the bathtub to protect her. And then she starts fighting with him and she's able to grab that knife and stab him in the chest. And at the same time, we see Sadiq, who has turned into a walker.
I know.
And he's going toward baby Coco.
Yeah.
And Rosita is totally badass right here because she has to stab Sadiq, the father of her child, in the head, and then goes back and beats the crap out of Dante.
I know. Oh my gosh. Well, when Dante was at the door and Rosita was talking to him in Spanish, he had just strangled the heck out of Sadiq.
I know.
So he's like all dripping in sweat and panting still, and he just looked really awkward. Why are you in my friend's or my child's father's apartment and he's not there? Why are you all sweaty? Like, this looks weird.
Yeah.
And it was just, and I think he even cracked a joke that he was like, that they slept with each other. Or
he said,
like
I can't remember what he said, but he's like, oh, you caught us or you found out or we're secretly lovers. I don't know what he said. That's what I'm saying. He's just like, okay. He's just an odd fellow.
And I'm trying not to laugh at him because I did like his character, because I'm trying not to laugh because he just killed one of our favorite characters, right?
I know.
And I'm just like thinking,
He's creepy, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like in a, you're, I don't know.
It's just, I just feel bad for Sadiq and I feel bad for Rosita that they weren't able to play it off and be like, okay, I'm just going to go now and,
I know.
put my baby down and then gather up and be like, I think something happened to Sadiq. Like, I don't know. I just think that it was an amazing scene. But I'm like, oh my gosh. If it were me, I'd be like, okay, well, I'll come back later.
Right. But I think he would have seen through her, too, because she would have been trying to hurry up and get out of there.
Yeah, like what if she turned and then he just got her from behind or something?
And then later we see Rosita's having a hard time dealing with it, and she goes out to kill those walkers and has flashbacks of Sadiq and almost gets bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good thing Eugene was nearby to help her. And then later she talks to Father Gabriel about being able to handle walkers easily before, but now that she has Coco, she has become more fearful of dying because she doesn't want to leave Coco an orphan.
I know. She said those words too, orphan, which is, that was pretty sad to hear that because I thought about it. I'm like, that's exactly what she would be.
Yeah.
And then it just made me think, like, would Father Gabriel still take care of Coco or, what would happen?
I didn't think about it like that. I'm sure he would. They would all care for her. But I think
Eugene, 2 dads and a baby.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
I know.
It's crazy.
It is. Okay, so there was a really big influence in this episode, too, with Michonne, Luke, and then Judith, of course.
Right.
And then also we met somebody new.
Right.
So, Luke, Michonne, and Judith were on their way to Oceanside, and then they stopped at some library, right?
Right.
And then I guess Luke got trapped and there was a walker and then somebody goes and saves Luke, and that happened to be who we find out later. His name is Virgil.
Right. Yeah.
But he just kind of like helped Luke out and then he took off, and Luke couldn't even say thank you hardly at this, so he just is like, some guy saved me. And then Michonne finds out about Sadiq's death.
Right.
She got a call on her walkie. And so they were so upset and distraught and surprised. And now they really have to get to Oceanside to see if there's any more intelligence from the Whisperers there, possibly. Like, now they have to really be on their toes. And how could they have accepted a member without knowing? Everybody's feeling that guilt.
Right.
Right? So when they get to Oceanside, the man that saved Luke was captured by Oceanside people. And I guess he was trying to steal a sailboat or something because all he wants to do is get back to his family. And as far as I understand, he's trying to get to an island.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Well, which is interesting.
Yeah.
To know that there's an island with supplies and people, maybe a community.
Yeah,
possibly.
it's hard to tell if who's there.
Yeah.
If it's just him and his family and a few people, or if it's a whole community. He didn't make it sound like it's a community, but I don't know. Because why would he give up? I'm getting ahead of ourselves, but he's giving up weapons that are on that if he hasn't talked to his community. Yeah. So it makes me feel like there's not very many people there.
Right.
Or at least that's what he's saying.
Well, I guess when he was caught at Oceanside, maybe he broke the barrier because then there were walkers that were coming through.
I wondered where those walkers were coming from because they all look shocked. And I'm like, wait, are they not inside? Are they outside? What's happening? I
think I heard in that episode that he broke a barrier and he was sorry for that. But then, they had to, and then they cut to the commercial, came back to the commercial, and then we just see Virgil taking off running. And then little Judith, she slices him in his knee and he falls to the ground. And then she just tells him,
stay right there.
Yeah, so cute.
Or whatever she says.
Her little voice.
I know.
I just love her.
I love Judith.
Yeah. So, and then I think Michonne is going to go with him to his family.
Yeah.
It sounds like, right?
Yeah, she does. She gets on that boat.
She gets on there. Okay.
After she talks with Judith about it.
Yeah. I believe him. I think I believe him.
I have a tendency to believe him, but I'm still a little worried.
I wonder if this is where we see Michonne leave our
right.
show.
Right.
Maybe she can't get back.
I don't know. I've got to wait too long. I know.
There's so much happening.
I know. That's
have
exactly.
So many questions.
Exactly. So I felt bad for Michonne when she tells Luke about Sadiq, that he's dead.
Yeah.
And I read that Angela Kang said that Michonne's grief will play an important part in her story. So I'm really going to look forward to seeing that because I'm
Interesting.
Curious. And it was, I just love Judith. She is so cute and so funny. When she's reading a book.
Yeah.
Right near Virgil. He's like tied up, right?
Exactly.
Laying down.
Yeah.
And she's reading a book and he's all, don't go through my stuff. That's for my daughter. Put it back.
Right.
And she's just, she just says, well, it fell out of your bag and it clearly belongs to the library.
I know.
And as he's tied up, he lunges at her, trying to get it from her. And she moves her body just so like he can't reach her, right? And she just continues to read the book.
Yeah.
And she says, be careful, you'll rip your stitches. Oh my gosh.
So
and then Michonne comes and talks to him. And I don't know. It's just, that part was so darn cute. I love Judith. She's so awesome.
She's so calm and nonchalant and like she's confident and she's strong. She's smart. She's witty.
Yes. She's like a little grown up, but she's cute and adorable too.
With her little hat. Mm-hmm. Oh.
But I was, I don't know. I was a little bit like Michonne's going to go so easily with Virgil. I mean, she interrogated him. And basically, she thought he was part of the Whispers, and what are you doing here? Or, who you're spying for, who you're with, blah, blah, blah. And he keeps pleading his case. And then he says something that triggers her into, I don't know the exact quote. I don't know if you know it. Oh, my God. I cannot think of it. Oh, well. Anyways, she just has a change of heart. And also, she's going alone. Right. I just think she's going alone with this man. She has no idea what's on this island. I just think that is not the best decision.
Right.
And I realize she can't bring Judith, and she talks to her and lets her know, look, I've got to go do this. And Judith is totally okay with it, saying, Mom, if it's going to help all of us and defeat the Whispers and the Horde and everything, I think you should go.
Oh, and I guess it's also to pay the debt for damaging the...
That's what... why he's giving them the weapons. But I just felt like you don't know what you're going to get into. So why would you just go alone? I mean, I know she can handle herself, but not when there's... And then they don't really know where she's going. She's sailing off with a man in a boat. I just feel... I hope everything's okay. I'm really going to hope everything is okay, but I just can't believe that she just went off on her own.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about Father Gabriel.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
He performs the eulogy at Sadiq's funeral, and you can tell he is affected by Sadiq's death.
Right.
And then later in his home, he's watching the video, of the recording of him interviewing Dante, and he is feeling guilty for not recognizing who Dante really was. And Aaron was feeling that too. But... it's actually really absorbing Father Gabriel. I mean, he can't even listen to what Rosita has to say because he's so consumed by his part in believing Dante.
Correct. I think everybody's feeling that guiltiness. And then obviously, Rosita, she's dealing with it really hard as well. And she goes out there and she's just killing walkers against the wall, but she gets herself caught in a situation, and then Eugene ends up helping and saving her basically. And then she what was it, she's having a conversation with Father Gabriel, and he was like, how are you? She's like, oh, I'm fine. You know what, forget it, I lied, I'm not good. I loved it.
I
almost got killed today.
I love that she just came clean like that. And that's when she was confiding into him how she was feeling. But he was listening. He was listening, though, because he did reiterate what she said. But I think she wanted more from him. I think she wanted just to be heard rather than an answer. Like, oh, yeah, it'll be fine. You'll get past this. And she was like, I need a little more than that.
Everybody's hard. It's hard right now. It's
right,
so
because
soon.
everybody has their own grief that they're going through.
Yeah.
And with him, he's just thinking about what's the next step. You know, how did he let this person in? So he goes to the jail cell and asks Dante if he ever did have a son. And he says, that's what I liked about you. And Dante kind of blows him off about, you know, the whisperer way and how they're never going to survive and that people are not good and all of that. And he tells Dante, you would probably be happy if I never trusted anyone again. And then he goes into the cell and leaves the door open. And I was thinking, no, he's going to get the upper hand and escape.
Right.
But I didn't realize at that point that Father Gabriel had his own plan, his own, you know, intention there.
I didn't know that either.
I was shocked because the next thing he tells him, I love Sadiq like a brother. My family will never be the same. Coco will never know her dad, and Rosita may blame me. And then he struggles with the next line, but he says, I haven't always been brave. And he, you know, says, do you think people deserve a chance? And I don't know. Sometimes we get one anyway. And then Dante looks at him confused, and then Father Gabriel stabs him. And Dante lunges at him, and Father Gabriel stabs him so many times. And then he gives this guttural yell. And then he sees the blood on his hands and starts sobbing.
And not only that, for us as a viewer, to see the blood on his apparel, his tie, around the necktie that I don't know what that is called, but that little white strip.
The collar.
The collar?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that just to see blood on that, because he just killed somebody. He has blood on his hands.
I know.
You know, a holy man. I think
that's why I was so shocked.
That was trippy right there to see all of that.
Yeah.
Dante had told, I think he told Rosita that they're not as strong as they think.
Right.
Well, who had the last word in that sense? Dante, you know?
Yeah.
Because maybe he was right, but maybe he was wrong about that. I mean,
I think he's wrong. I think they are stronger. I think he probably sees it as a weakness that they care about people and trust people, but sure, sometimes things happen because you may do that, but ultimately I think it is your strength.
Yeah. I'm glad that Father Gabriel stood up and took Dante out. I'm glad.
I am too, and I was feeling a little guilty. I was like, oh my God, I'm really happy right now. I'm really glad he did it. I'm glad for so many levels and so many reasons. I'm glad because he wasn't someone that I liked in the many seasons ago. He was a coward. And he did do a lot of cowardly things, and he was against the group in Alexandria when they first arrived and was telling on Rick and everybody else. And I'm like, I don't like you. But then slowly we've seen him change into someone who would fight against the walkers and now the whisperers and now this, and now he's trying to take care of his family.
Well, it's also very frustrating. I mean, he had Negan in a cell, and he would go over there, talk to Negan, and it's just really frustrating to have a prisoner who has killed members of their group.
Yeah.
And so this is enough, right? I guess he's just got a turning point now in, like, dealing with Negan, and Negan is still out there missing. And, now with Dante killing in their own grounds, it's just enough is enough.
You're right.
And Rosita is watching him as he leaves all bloody.
Yes. I like that. I like that because she sees it and then they don't talk about it. And then the next thing you see them at that fire, which you were assuming it's Dante's body, right? They're burning Dante's body. Yep. But I like it because it kind of came full circle for them. It's like they're both there watching it. And they're both happy about it because she didn't seem to have a reaction. She was probably like thrilled. She's probably all, yes. Yeah. I'm so glad you did
She's
that.
Like, that's my man.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have to put that in there. Beep.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah. So
what do you think about Carol, Daryl, and the group?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so worried about them. Carol and Daryl, they seem to really be having, I don't know.
I know.
There's like some tension going on there. And it may not be so bad. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where I see them, what direction they're... in this season, they have gotten so close than we've ever seen them before.
Yeah. Yes.
I am just so curious to see where they will go. And he's telling her, like, she's been like a ghost ever since she came back from the boat.
Yeah.
And that's really... He's so concerned for her.
Yeah, he is.
And I really value that they have that in their friendship.
Woo, it's windy here.
It is a storm. And she tells him that she's really trying hard, and it's hard for her to let go of it.
Right.
But, Alpha really just isn't worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so they're all out looking for that horde of walkers.
Yes, because they got the intel from Gamma and Aaron, and so they're out there searching. And meanwhile, Negan is still out there too, so that has to be on their minds as well.
That's
that they're
true.
Possibly could encounter Negan and then Lydia.
Yeah.
So I know Daryl is really close to Lydia.
Yeah,
so I'm wondering.
Yeah, and he wants to find her.
Yeah.
I mean, he and Daryl and Carol had that conversation. I actually liked that conversation because I thought what Carol had to say was like, I don't know if she wants to be found. Which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
And she does tell him what happened. She was very truthful on that part. So I appreciated that she did tell him. Yeah.
Right. But do you believe Gamma with the herd? I mean, like initially,
did I believe she told the truth? Well, I'm not sure, but I kind of had to go with Aaron's gut because Aaron's feeling like, you know what? I believe that she did tell me the truth. That the and I do now. I still think that could be the truth because they could have them out there, but then they could put them underground afterwards. I don't know what they do with them. Maybe they move them from place to place.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll know more.
Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely feel that, before them going out there and searching for the herd of walkers, that maybe I was able to trust her. But then when we see where the group ended up, obviously.
Well, but Alpha's there.
Well, that's what I feel like that was part of a trap that Gamma was part of setting up.
Oh, maybe.
I think.
Oh, could be. Yeah.
I mean, how
would Alpha know that
what
they're
a coincidence.
There? Yeah.
They told them to go that. She told them to go that. That's where they were.
Yeah.
And then there's Alpha standing out there.
Yeah.
And then, oh, great. What do we see then? We see Carol dart off.
Oh my gosh. And I'm like,
and Daryl's like, wait, what are you doing? He didn't want her to do anything stupid. And her gut is telling her, because she wants her revenge. Carol wants revenge for what Alpha and the Whisperers did to their group.
Okay. I kept yelling, don't follow her.
Yeah.
Alpha wants you to follow her.
Exactly.
Don't you see that sly grin on Alpha's face?
Yep.
And then why did Daryl follow? And then why didn't someone say, don't come in here, Daryl? We're all, Daryl was the last one to go in. Why didn't any of them yell out something?
Well, then he's like, Carol. He's yelling in this cave.
Right.
And you don't hear anything. You don't hear all these walkers like echo.
You don't hear anything.
So, I mean...
Unless it's really far down there or something, but you'd think you'd hear something. You'd think they would say, like, don't come in, don't come down.
Yeah.
But no.
And where did Alpha disappear to?
That's what I was wondering. There must be it's in the dark, so they can't see anything. And then I'm thinking, don't any of you guys carry a flashlight or something that lights up? I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. They go into this dark cave. But apparently Alpha knows that cave inside and out and probably has an escape route.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm so worried.
I was like, really? You guys are all trapped here with this big horde of walkers? That's like crazy.
I know. So it's scary. They've definitely got themselves in a point. And I don't know how they're going to get out of that. I don't know. So here we are again with a cliffhanger.
I know.
On the edge of our seats.
So let's talk about Aaron really quickly.
Yeah.
Aaron and Gamma. So he talks with Gamma, and it's in the very beginning, and we find out her name is Mary. And she asks about her nephew and that she wants to see him. And that's when she tells him she'll exchange the information that she has. Mm-hmm. And he also asks her to take off her mask, and she does.
Right.
So that was interesting for him to see her face, you know?
For him to see her, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think that was also, just knowing now that what has happened, I just think that was definitely part of her plan to get him hooked.
To believe her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and then he takes that information back, and that's why they're all out on this mission.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like that they showed Aaron and his daughter, Gracie.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen her at this age, I don't think. I don't recall seeing her. And it was really interesting to see the collection of license plates, because Aaron was the one, I think, who took the photos of people and was documenting with that. So it was kind of cool to see that he had these license plates. And, you know, he just has all these stories. And his daughter asks him, oh, tell me about Sacramento, California. And I'm thinking to myself, that's just a place to her that doesn't really exist anymore, possibly, right?
Yeah.
And so then he tells her.
Oh, sorry.
Well, and then he tells her a story of back after college when he was with his boyfriend, and they traveled to there, and that there was a village there.
Oh.
Yeah, and how he always wondered about what happened to those people.
Oh.
So, yeah.
The license plates, I remember, that's when we met Aaron, and he collected license plates with Eric.
Oh, yeah.
And that's, because I remember Aaron got stuck, and that's when he, there was flares going off, because they were looking for Aaron.
Right.
And I think Eric sprained his ankle or something that night. Right. Yeah, that's how I remember that. Yeah. So it's good that they circled back to the license plate, that he still has them.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, poor Eric.
I know. Oh. But I thought, so I just thought it was nice to see Aaron with his daughter.
His daughter,
so it was kind of cool.
I know. Oh, well, that was a good episode. There was, like you know, there was so much details, and I just love the writing, how they brought everything out and it's like opening up a can of worms. It just keeps on coming.
I know.
You know, there's more and more and more. And just, you know, fans like us who can notice all those little small details, we're a true fan. Yeah. You know?
So what were other things that you noticed?
Well, I was really glad that in the beginning of the episode, like we said, they showed Dante, like his flashbacks on what he was doing. And you remember last episode in our podcast, you talked about, you saw an arm doing the water contamination. Do you think it was the same? He wasn't
wearing the same thing, same outfit. So now I'm wondering if it was actually Sadiq's stand-in, you know, and they were just putting it in there, and he had a bigger arm because he was wearing the same shirt. It looked like the same shirt as Sadiq's, because I paid attention, because that's what I thought. Yeah. But when I saw Dante, he wasn't wearing the shirt that I recalled in the other one. So I don't know.
Sneaky. Yeah. So I was glad that they showed him doing that. And then also we got to see him, and he killed Cheryl. He smothered her in her sleep, or maybe she was awake.
I know. Do you think he did that because he wanted Sadiq to spiral?
Yeah. Vulnerability,
right?
God. That's what I mean. Like, I'm just so surprised that these whispers are so sneaky still, and like they still have those intentions. Like, they know how to do things with intent, right? And play these games. It's too creepy,
right?
So I thought those were good feedback. What did you notice?
So I noticed that, you know, Ezekiel came to the Sadiq's funeral.
Right.
And Carol and him saw each other, and Carol went and talked to him.
Yes.
And they talked for a little bit, but Ezekiel, he didn't tell Carol about his cancer, his throat situation. And you could tell he almost wanted to, but he just couldn't bring himself to tell her.
I wonder if he was just thinking that it wasn't the right time, or he just doesn't know how to talk to her about it.
But she gave him
opportunity.
Yes, because she said, hey, is there something wrong or is there something up? So she could read something, but he should have just said it right then. But yeah. Maybe,
I could see why he didn't.
Yeah. I just felt bad for him, that's all.
Yeah.
You know?
I remembered what I wanted to say was like, now I'm concerned for all groups because Sadiq was the doctor on duty.
Oh, yeah.
And even though he was going through his PTSD, he still wanted to treat patients and take care of people. Now I don't know what they're going to do in that case.
I know.
So I'm not sure if Oceanside has that or if there's anybody else at Hilltop.
Right.
Like, what are they going to do if somebody needs care? Hopefully nobody gets pregnant anytime soon.
They'll figure it out. They'll go get to the library, get those books.
There you go.
Those medical books.
Yeah.
Oh, and they talked in this episode, you know how we were talking about how much time had passed? And they said it was 4 months.
I just don't see how that could be.
I was thinking it was closer to that, but the only thing that doesn't make sense with that there was something that didn't make sense with that 4 months.
The baby.
Well, but she was pregnant. I mean, she was pretty pregnant, and then, you know, the baby could just be, they could say the baby's 2 months old or something. But, you know, because they went through the snow, but there was something that seemed longer, and I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, man, now I can't even remember. So...
it's this rainy day.
I know, it has our mind,
where our minds are in a tornado right now.
Yeah. But anyway, so they did bring up that it had been 4 months.
Okay.
But I don't know.
We'll go with it.
Yeah, we'll go with it. And then we see that Dante was the one who wrote Silence the Whispers, because remember, you noticed the writing all over the place.
Yeah.
And so he was just trying to build that paranoia in people.
That's it, for sure. And then freak Lydia out and break her.
Right. Oh, why would he want to do that? Maybe he wants her to go back home. I don't know what he wanted in that regard.
Just causing drama. He's just stirring the pot, right?
Mm-hmm. And then I noticed that Virgil had an orange backpack. And that orange backpack sticks with me because wasn't that the backpack of that guy on the road that Rick and all of them passed by in the beginning, and the guy's got an orange backpack. He's all, hey, stop, help me. And then they come back at the end, and the guy's all eaten on the road. All they see is his backpack. I could have swore it was an orange backpack.
And then they took the backpack.
Yes, they stop and open the door, and they take the backpack. But, so, I don't know, it just reminded me of that. I'm like, oh, it's an orange backpack. Mm-hmm. And then I saw the previews, and I saw so many things quickly. I saw that Michonne was cloaked in a hooded robe, which I thought was interesting. Like she was sort of like hiding a little bit, like she had it, over her head. I'm like, why does she have a robe? Where'd she get this from? Where's she at?
Reminds me of when we first met Michonne. She had her robe.
Yes. And then I also saw where Aaron's with an army of his peers.
Uh-huh.
And then I saw whisperers shooting arrows that have fire on them.
They have tactical equipment.
I only saw a second, and I was really shocked with that. I'm like, wait, that's a whisperer. And then I could see them like pulling the bows back or something.
So there's going to be a war?
I don't know. I think this is what I saw. I only saw like a tiny second,
Well, maybe. That would be
it was
good.
hard, but I was like, what am I seeing? Then you see Rosita in her home, and she's startled, and she turns and sees a whisperer with a knife over baby Coco. I'm like, who is that? And we see Aaron trying to get Jerry out of, like he's down in a cave. He's trying to get him out. And then all of a sudden we see Jerry drop down and yelling, and you're like freaking out. It's like, oh my God, is it a walker? What's happening?
No. I didn't even think maybe Jerry could be the one to go.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh no, that's horrible.
No.
And then I see Judith pulling out a vest with Daryl's, Daryl has those wings.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but she's pulling it out. But she's like happy, so it's not like she's pulling it out like Daryl doesn't have it.
I saw the back of it. Somebody had drawn another wing on the back of his vest in blue. I saw the back of his vest, and it looked like somebody did something artistic to complete, because there's only one wing, because it was ripped off when Dwight had the vest. And so now it looks like maybe she did a new wing.
Oh, okay.
For him.
Yeah. She seemed like kind of happy.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are they showing this? What's happening?
Yeah. I don't know if they showed that there or if I saw it somewhere else. I'm not sure. But I remember seeing a second wing on the vest.
Mm-hmm. And then they show a motorhome, like out in some, almost like a desert, and it reminded me of Walter White.
Uh-oh.
So I'm like, why are they showing a motorhome? Why? And then they show a bigger ship in the water.
Wow.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be like, then you're going to see Kevin Costner come out with Waterworld.
That's so funny. Oh my God. So much. So Brooke, tell me, why do you love this show?
I talked about this show today with one of my clients, and he's like, I don't get it. And I'm like, okay, I've been watching it. I've watched every episode, and I've seen a lot of the episodes multiple times. I'm hooked. I am completely hooked. I love this show. I love how they drew me in with this real apocalyptic world. Mm-hmm. It could really be like that. Like, I'm thinking, how am I going to be strategic? And now it's going into another world. I just watched some of Mad Max last night, so now it's I'm getting the feel of it being a little bit more like Mad Max, where this world is changing and readapting into this crazy havoc. And I just absolutely love the stories and how it's evolving over 10 seasons.
I know.
And I'm still hooked. I don't care what people say. It's still very good, regardless if it's believable, because it's changed and you have to go with it.
Yeah.
Like, the world will not stay the same.
Right.
Ever in an apocalypse. So I love the show. I love it. Thank you, the Walking Dead community, for bringing a family tradition for me.
I like that.
How about you, Diana? Why do you love The Walking Dead?
Well, I love the adventure in this show and how much work goes into giving us, this adventure. Think about all these locations they had to film in just this episode. Yeah. I mean, Rosita and Father Gabriel in Alexandria, Michonne and Judith on the road, Luke in the library. They traveled to Oceanside, Daryl and Carol and the group out in the woods, and then the cave. I mean, wow, that's a lot. Yes. A lot of places. And this is a show, not a movie. It's not going to be a whole year until they, release just this one. That's what takes so long to get us these shows. We have to remember how hard it is to get these things made.
I know.
I mean, the production of the show is incredible. And I am so amazed by the show, by the direction, the writing, of course, my characters that I love so much, and the actors that portray them. I love this show.
Aw, good job.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you.
Okay, and so with that,
yes,
who does your award go to? What was your favorite quote, character, or moment?
Okay, so my original thought would be Rosita. And I could tell you why. Obviously, she protected her baby and doing what she had to do to protect her baby from the man that
that's a good
loves.
That's a good one, just FYI.
Yeah.
It's a really good one. Okay.
Yeah, and to be knocked down and to just get right back up and to fight a man.
Yeah.
She's tiny.
Yes, Sadiq couldn't overpower Dante, but she could.
She did, yeah.
She was able to.
And, she was just like a cat, just like, and she just got him.
Mama protecting her baby.
She just got him, and that cute little baby in the bathtub. I mean, she did what she had to do, and she was able to get right back up and protect Coco from two, what's the word I'm looking for?
Not villains, or
two dangers, right? I mean, there were two.
Yes.
So, I mean, on both sides of the fence, it was just crazy. That scene was just incredible.
Yeah.
And I do have to give, a silver medal to Father Gabriel.
I know.
Shout out to Father Gabriel for overcoming that and just doing something that, he may not be a believer in, but he had to. He had to, retaliate and protect what's his. I mean, his feelings. Right. And then to go in and just give that at peace, right? And his I was going to say wife, but they're not married, Rosita and Father Gabriel, but he did it for himself and also for his family, right? He said his family.
Mm-hmm.
So who would your award go to if you could give your award to a character, quote, or moment?
Well, I do want to say, I want to go back to you because I think Rosita is such a good choice. I'm kind of mad at myself that I didn't think about it. So I think that I'm so glad you brought it up and said all that because it's so true.
Mm-hmm.
But I had contemplated about doing Father Gabriel because of what I was so happy with what he did.
I know.
But I kept thinking to myself, what scene means the most to me?
Mm-hmm.
What gets me? And to me, it was Daryl and Carol.
Yeah.
I love when Daryl tells Carol, I'm the one you tell.
Yeah.
Me. I can't help but love how much Daryl watches over Carol.
Mm-hmm.
He tells her she's being reckless and that she needs to care about herself. And she cries and says, I don't know how to.
Oh,
and then
I know.
Daryl says, you have to try.
Yeah.
And they hug. And then she leans into his shoulder. Oh, my God. I just love that part.
Her face, the way that they zoomed in just on her face, it was so cute. She's like, I don't know how. Like a little baby,
I know.
And he just takes care of her.
He
emotionally.
does. And then, and then he tells her Alpha's not worth it. She's not. She is a dead woman anyway. We have a future. Don't let her take that too. And I'm thinking for a moment, we have a future? Does he mean like them too? Or does he mean like their whole group? I was, because like you were saying earlier too, it's like, where's this going? I'm not sure. I don't know, but I like it. I don't care. I don't care if it's that they're just good friends or if it could go somewhere further. I love them. He is such a good guy. And I just adore them. I just think that was my favorite moment. So I would give my award to them.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Diana.
Okay, Brooke.
Yeah.
What else are you currently watching?
So much, but the biggest, I did watch a documentary on Netflix, and it was about the Bikram yoga.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about that?
You did.
Today? Okay, yeah, that was really good. So it's on Netflix. If anybody knows anything about Bikram yoga, I think that it is really important to watch this documentary because it kind of tells you how Bikram got started and how Bikram has a little bit of a controversial connection now.
Right.
And Bikram is actually a man who started and branded his yoga styles and techniques, and it's the 120-degree hot yoga. So if any of you are familiar with that, I would definitely check out this documentary on Netflix, Bikram. And we also went to go see a movie yesterday, and we saw Frozen 2.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was so cute.
Awesome.
I know, my husband was...
Along with 1 billion other people, right?
Yeah, like the highest grossing Disney movie of all time. But my husband was really cute. He was like, oh, I wonder what the next song is going to be. Because obviously the first Frozen was Let It Go. My daughter was so sweet. She dressed in her Elsa dress. She did her makeup. She wanted a side braid. And so she got all dolled up for the movie. And it was so wonderful going with the family on Black Friday. And the movie was really good. It was very sisterhood, power. They circle back to their parents and how they were lost at sea, and they basically had to save their village, and the strength of those sisters, and the strong female character influence, and the mystery, and just the new concerns. And Olaf, he was hilarious. I laughed out loud. And Kristoff, he had a music video, which was so 80s, 90s, like soft rock.
Yeah.
That it was just, Gabe and I looked at each other and we were just cracking up. And it wasn't like a funny song. It was like heartfelt, emotional, but just it reminded us of the 80s. And so we're like, oh, we know who produced this scene, somebody from our generation. It was really cute. I loved the movie Frozen 2. Aww. So you guys need to check it out. Even if you don't have kids, it's so worthy. Mm-hmm. And it's beautiful. The animation, the comedy, it was great.
Oh, so, that's great.
If you get a chance to watch it. What else are you watching?
I didn't bring up The Connors the last time. I really like this show, and I've seen, there was the Thanksgiving episode and then the most recent episode, but their Thanksgiving episode was, do you watch it at all? Mm-mm. No. Was really intense. So Jackie is, Roseanne's sister. And, of course, Roseanne's not in it any longer, but Jackie's still in it. And then, Darlene is the daughter. But they were having issues because Jackie wants to reopen the restaurant that she had back with Roseanne.
The Lunchbox.
The Lunchbox a long time ago. She wants to reopen it with Becky, the other sister. But Darlene's taking care of all the money. The grandma sent the money to Darlene, she's the executor. She's still living, but she's just having Darlene manage the money. Well, Darlene doesn't want all of them to be broke, so she won't give Jackie and Becky the money. And that's causing a huge that's been for a couple episodes causing a huge family riff. Mm. And there's a moment on Thanksgiving that gets so heated, but so real, because that show and even the history of Roseanne can get real really quick, and it's really good. That's what makes you so drawn in and makes you want to watch it, because it deals with real issues, real emotions. And so it was a pivotal moment. Jackie actually slaps Darlene.
Wow.
And it's huge.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, oh my goodness. But also what I love about it is that they are family and they get through it. Mm-mm. But they do deal with it and discuss it. And so it was just very pivotal. I was like, oh my God, my mouth was hanging. So it was a really good episode. And then it ended, not ended, but then I saw the next one where it moves on from there. So it's good. It's just a good show, and I really appreciate it, so I wanted to bring it up. But
cool.
As far as movies, I saw American Son on Netflix.
I watched it.
You did watch it. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's based on a Broadway play starring Kerry Washington about parents who are in a Florida police station awaiting answers on their missing son. And I have to say, I was impressed with that the movie took place in one location, in that waiting room.
Yeah.
That's like hard to do, to keep people focused on this one waiting room, because I think because it was based on a play, that's probably what made it easier to do it that way. But I wasn't missing that they weren't in other locations. I was good with them being in one location.
Well, it was very stressful, and you could probably feel that, because if that happened to you,
yeah, you
would be in that same room waiting to figure out what happened to your loved one.
Yeah.
Right? So you wouldn't be going anywhere until you got the answer.
Mm-hmm. So that was an interesting movie.
It was interesting,
yeah.
I was impatient. I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And like, she was so angry the entire time.
Yeah, she was.
And then I was like, I think it just made me feel like the anxiousness for her, and like just her anger like rubbed off on me. And I think that was an applause to her for portraying that. Like, it wasn't fake, Right, yeah. They're like true emotions, raw emotions.
It was, yeah.
But I think it was just really, really difficult to process watching somebody go through that. Because for her, it was like a few hours, and then for us, it was like an hour and a half of a movie.
Right,
where she's just so furious. And then the officer who was there, they just kept going back and forth, and his character's personality was just so leading on. And just not taken serious. Like, do you want a donut?
I know. Because it's about her missing son, and she's trying to figure out where he's at. Mm-hmm.
So it's just,
and there's that racial tension through the whole thing, because that's really what it's about. Because here you have, an African-American mother and a white father and a white police officer, and how that's being dealt with. And I had mixed feelings about it. some of the stuff felt planted to me in it a little bit, or a little bit dated or something. But then I really did like it too. So I thought she gave a good performance. I was surprised by the ending.
Yeah.
And so that kind of threw me a little bit of a loop. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I had no idea where it was going. But I did like it. I was glad that I saw it. I was glad that I saw the movie.
Me too.
I also saw, this is a little bit, a 2018 thriller, but I also saw Breaking In. Have you seen this one?
No.
This one's with Gabriel Union, who plays a mother out to protect her children after 4 burglars break into her deceased father's estate looking for millions of dollars.
Oh, I almost watched it this weekend, actually.
So I liked it. It's very watchable.
Okay.
It's not, oh, you have to go watch this, but you know what? If it's on and you have some time, I thought it was a good thing to watch.
Okay. We almost watched Escape Room, by the way.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, this kind of reminds me of Saw a little bit. Like,
yes.
I just watched the trailer.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm going to watch it one of these days. I'm just not at the moment. But, okay, cool. Breaking In.
Yeah.
Thank you for your recommendations.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Hey, you're welcome.
Yeah. And that is our show. Thanks for tuning in. We are grateful you tuned in, and we hope something we said today resonated with you and gave you a chuckle, some happiness, some positivity, or inspiration. Please subscribe to our podcast and tell a friend. We would love more members of our TV club. Rate and review the podcast on iTunes and Stitcher. We need your feedback.
Okay, so The Walking Dead is at the mid-season finale, so it's not coming back on until February 23rd. Ooh. So we'll be back with our bi-weekly episodes at that point. But in the meantime, we will be releasing
a holiday special.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks. And then, the award season will be upon us, and we'll be watching some of those films and reviewing those and putting out some podcasts on those. So we'll let you know when those are released.
Yeah, we'll stay in touch with you and let us know what other movies and shows that you're watching and share those with us. We'd love to know what you'll be doing this holiday season.
And you can find our website listed in our show notes. So see you next time.
Bye.